Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and today we are going to ask the question: what would happen if Loki cosplayed as Aladdin? We're going to be reviewing Assassin's Creed Mirage. So before we get into spoilers, first thing off the bat that I really liked about this game, there was no modern day gameplay. I've only reviewed Valhalla and now Mirage, but when I get around to reviewing everything else, my biggest thing is going to be that the modern day stuff is, honestly, in my opinion, pointless and boring. We don't need an explanation of why you're playing in a certain time period and why it changes and everything. I mean, there's games that take place in the past all the time. I mean, Call of Duty World War II, half the Call of Duty game, all the Call of Duty games, and you got other games that are historical games that you don't need to go and explain that you're in the modern day to reach that. And I was so happy that Mirage didn't do any of that. Now, the other part that Mirage did do that I don't really care for is the whole ancients being reincarnated stuff. I did not like that in Valhalla. I think I said that in the review. And I still think it's kind of a dumb idea. I think the idea of the ancients and everything is kind of cool, explaining the past and everything, or where everything came to be. I think that's fine. I think ancient artifacts is okay. But this whole reincarnating in from the Norse gods reincarnating into people, kind of dumb. I also feel like it partially destroyed part of the twist for the game. The twist was really good, but half of it you kind of knew what was going to happen. Anytime you saw the genie, you knew it was Loki's past. It wasn't a ghost or anything. But with that, let's talk about the positives. This is back to basics Assassin's Creed. I actually remember feeling like I was playing OG Assassin's Creed or Assassin's Creed 2. Just a modern update, which was great. I also really did kind of like the non-linear story of it, of doing whichever cases you wanted first. Even though I think there's a cutscene that doesn't make sense if you play it as the second to last case, which I did, which is you're talking to your mentor and you ask, what does it feel like to kill someone? And it's well, I mean, you've just already killed about 100-something people. You should know already. Which is just kind of strange. But maybe I just misinterpreted that line or something. But yeah, I thought it was great that you got to go through all the different cases in your own pace, figure out which ones you wanted to do first, and so on and so forth. I think I literally just did a U and then went to the middle. And then there's very little side missions. There's the basically the two friends that you had in your past life giving you missions. And actually, one of them ends up mostly being part of the main quest. But yeah, so anyways, with that, we also get some a really cool feature. I felt like the last three games were overkill in their special abilities. Basim only has one special ability, at least that I unlocked. Maybe you could build them different to have a different one. But it's basically breaking the animus and teleporting to kills. Which, again, like I said, I don't like the modern day stuff, but I thought it was a really cool effect and very helpful. Especially towards the end when you unlock 5 possibilities. And it's not overpowered where you could cover the whole map. You have a radius that you can do. which I think is great. And also with that, kind of limiting your swords and your daggers and everything like that works perfect. It really makes you feel like an assassin. In the previous games, you can overload on different weapons and different stuff and look at the stats and everything like that. And it makes it feel less like, you know, this is how you were trained. It's more, again, like RPG, where this is still got some RPG elements of, like, building up your stats and upgrading weapons and stuff like that. But you can only use swords and daggers. You can't switch from, like, in Valhalla, an axe to a sword. You have to use your sword and dagger. Which, again, brings us back to the roots of Assassin's Creed, where it was weapon, range weapon, hidden blade. And that's basically what you get here. You get weapon, an arsenal of ranged weapons that only one is deadly, and the others are used for, like, distractions and sneaky stuff and stuff like that. So that was perfect. Now let's get into spoilers and talk about the story. So you play as Basim, who was the villain of Valhalla. And you play before he realizes that he's Loki. He's just a common street thug, or street thief that's running around basically doing jobs for people when the hidden ones show up and mention this ancient artifact. So Basim and his friend Nihil decide to go after it. In that, Basim touches it and starts having visions of this genie chasing after him. In doing so, the hidden one named Roshan takes Basim in after Nihil ends up killing someone and then disappearing. And you train to become an assassin with her. After months of training, you are sent back to Baghdad, which is where you're from, to investigate the Order of the Ancients' growing power. You figure that there were 5 of the Order of the Ancients at the time of you stealing the artifact, and each must be targeted. They also have minor members and stuff like that. So you go to different spots of Baghdad to solve these cases and assassinate members of the Order. After that, you find out who the leader is, and you go after her when she starts mentioning basically something about you being more powerful, something about Basim being more powerful. At this, Nihil keeps showing up sometimes, starts showing up sometimes, fading in and out of like kind of helping Basim or telling him stuff, but that's about it. With that, as you're about to hear out the leader of the Order of the Ancients, Roshan kills her and says that if you investigate under the Assassin's Temple that she was talking about, Roshan will kill you herself. As you and Nihil head back to the Assassin's base, you find out that it is under attack by the Order. You go and save what members you can. Nihil is missing, so you have to try to find her while you're doing that. And you end up under the temple fighting Roshan. In injuring her, you go in to this ancient building and find out that Nihil is just a figment of your imagination. She is all the Loki parts that Basim is hiding. I thought that was amazing on the twist. And then you find out that the genie is also part of Loki's past. With that, Basim is fully awake and now realizes that he's Loki. Starts running the Order after Roshan leaves and says that if he finds anyone that is also reincarnated, he will kill them. And that's how the game ends. So yeah, with that, the story was great up until, the whole Loki thing. I figured if they left that whole Loki part out it would still be good, even if they still find a way to make Nale, or however you pronounce it, still being a figment of imagination. Which I thought was alright. Again, I thought it was alright, but I also was like, we don't really need there to be, ancient gods in this semi-historical fiction. But yeah, so I'm going to give Mirage a 8 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan, signing off.